Justice is a concept that has been debated for centuries. While we can all agree that it is an essential component of any society, the question remains, does justice require absolute impartiality, or is it possible for bias to exist? The idea of absolute impartiality in the pursuit of justice is an ideal that many strive for. It assumes that all individuals are treated equally, regardless of their background, wealth, or social status. However, achieving absolute impartiality is easier said than done. Even the most well-intentioned individuals can harbor biases that can influence their judgment. One example of this can be seen in the criminal justice system. Studies have shown that racial bias exists within the criminal justice system, leading to the disproportionate incarceration of people of color. Despite efforts to eliminate bias, it is challenging to do so completely. This raises the question, how can we ensure that justice is served when bias exists? One solution is to acknowledge that bias exists and actively work to minimize its impact. This requires individuals to examine their own biases and work towards eliminating them. It also means that institutions must implement policies and procedures that reduce the impact of bias. Another potential solution is to include diverse perspectives in decision-making. When a group of people from different backgrounds comes together to make a decision, the likelihood of bias is reduced. This is because individuals are forced to confront their biases and consider perspectives that they may not have otherwise. However, some argue that bias is unavoidable, and that attempting to eliminate it completely is a futile effort. They argue that bias is an inherent part of human nature and that it is impossible to be completely impartial. While this may be true, it is important to recognize that bias can have a detrimental impact on marginalized communities. In conclusion, the pursuit of absolute impartiality in the pursuit of justice is a noble goal. However, it is important to recognize that bias exists and can influence decisions. While we may never be able to completely eliminate bias, we can work to minimize its impact through self-reflection, institutional policies, and diverse perspectives. By doing so, we can ensure that justice is served in a fair and equitable manner.